Hello, all you positive heads out there. It's so good to be back with all you beautiful reflections of the one source consciousness that creates and animates all things. If you're new to this podcast, of course, we're super happy to have you here. And if you've been listening and enjoying for a while, I would be super grateful if you would please take a moment to give us a review on Apple Podcasts. It's one of the best and simplest ways to pay it forward and help others find the show so that they too can tap into the powerful perspectives and positive vibrations we are collectively emanating. The other unique and magical way to share this show is by sending any friends you think would benefit from listening to this podcast our Game with the Universe link at positivehead.com/game. Also listed in the show notes, which will serve them up a quote-unquote random episode when they click it. Just instruct them before clicking the link to close their eyes for a moment and sincerely ask the universe to cue up the episode that contains the insight and perspectives that they most need to hear at this point in their life journey, and then click to listen to whatever episode is synchronistically served up to them. I have heard time and time again from people about the incredible results they received playing the game. So just tell your friends magical results are guaranteed or their karma back.
All right, all you positive heads, welcome one and all. I am super grateful that you've joined me on this magical today. Always a magical today, as long as we decide to make it one. I've been learning that lesson myself a lot lately. Typically, this holiday season can be one that is super stressful for me, with taking care of all the children and being the matriarch of my family and being in charge of dinner and all of the things. It can be a little stressful. And there are years that I make it even more stressful on myself. And this year, I decided I wasn't going to do that. I decided to allow this holiday season to be more enjoyable, and that I wasn't going to stress, and that I was going to prepare a little bit more so that it wasn't as stressful as I am used to. And with that intention, going into this season, it was not stressful. I was able to enjoy myself and not feel the stress that I normally do. And I think that I did the same amount of work. The same amount of effort was expended, and actually, maybe even a little bit more this year. Even still, I did not feel the stress because I went into this season with the intention to just allow things to roll, to allow things to flow. I've been learning a lot this year that everything, everything always works out for us. No matter how hard it gets, no matter how difficult or challenging life can be, it's for a reason. And it always works out for us in our best interests. Even when it comes down to finances, a lot of us this year and more are feeling the restraints of the economy, or some of us are, and that can feel very stressful. And we can allow it to stress us out, or we can know that whatever we need will be provided for us. I am learning this more and more. And the less I allow myself to stress out, the easier it is, because the knowingness that this is all divine, that everything is working out according to plan, according to my soul's plan, just as each and every one of us has a plan, everything is working out according to plan. We need these hiccups and bumps along the road in order for us to learn, in order for us to realize how strong we are, and to also realize that we are always guided, we are always protected, and we are always provided for. One of the big lessons that we are here to learn in this lifetime, we're all here learning lessons, right? Our soul's plan, we came to learn certain things so our soul could evolve. And one of the biggest lessons we're learning in this life, all of us here on this planet, we are learning the lessons of love. And the most predominant lesson of those lessons of love is the lesson of self-love. And self-love is a tough one to balance. It's a tough one to really hone in on and understand. And so many of us are working on this very lesson in this lifetime, because as this world is entering into this new dimension, we all have to make a choice. Just like we have a choice each and every day to set our intentions, to not stress out, to have a good day, to make it a magical one, we are also every single day making the choice to serve others or to serve ourselves. And when it comes down to self love, this can be a little confusing because self love feels like we're serving ourselves. But in reality, loving ourselves, when we understand that loving ourselves is in service to the whole, then we create the balance. When loving ourselves is manipulative of others or trying to take advantage of or control, that is when it is in service to self. When we are loving ourselves in the manner of taking care of ourselves, loving our bodies, respecting our time, respecting our emotions, honoring ourselves, knowing what our limits are, and setting our boundaries. When we are doing things like this, showing love for ourselves, what we're doing is showing love for the whole. There is so much power in having this love for ourselves. It is very similar to when you get on an airplane and you are told to always put your air mask on first, because we can never help another unless we are fully whole. And so, what kind of help can we give another if it is coming from a depleted place, a place of low energy? And what kind of help can we give another if it is coming from a place that is full of energy and full of abundance and full of love? And how do we get to that place that is full of energy and full of abundance and full of love? By loving ourselves, by taking the time each and every day to spend quiet time with ourselves, to take care of our bodies, to nourish it well, to quiet our minds, to breathe, to have introspection time, to consider what our thoughts were today. How were my reactions? Do I want to choose to do things differently? And were my thoughts and were my reactions centered on love and compassion? And if not, how can I change that next time? And what kind of different perspective can I gain so that my reaction is different next time? So that I can look at it from a new angle, maybe in someone else's shoes. And I feel like this holiday season, I tried to do that a little bit more, and everything was so much more smooth than it normally had been because I just allowed it to be and allowed everyone to be who they are, knowing that they are all placed in my pathway for such a beautiful lesson so that we can all learn these lessons of self love. Our parents, we specifically chose our parents in order to learn this lesson. And maybe our parents made us feel unloved or unworthy, or maybe they were even abusive. There are so many different ways that we choose to learn this lesson of self love, but we chose our parents specifically to help us learn this lesson in the way that we need to learn it. Because, as I said before, we are moving into this new dimension, this new earth, where we need to make this decision, the decision of the positive or negative path. We are moving vibrationally into a new positive dimension. And in order to move vibrationally, our souls need to vibe or match this frequency. And that means that we all need to make this choice, the choice to love others, knowing that that choice involves loving ourselves in a way that we see ourselves as one with the whole, and understanding that helping ourselves and loving ourselves is also helping the whole. Now, like I said before, this balance is kind of not easy to get to make these choices for ourselves. We often think that we have to serve another and that we need to put ourselves in depletion state or to overextend ourselves in a way where we burn the candle at both ends and we are not taking care of ourselves. But so many of us helpers in this world and lovers of others want to help so bad that we often put the other before ourselves, therefore depleting ourselves. And this is not what we want to do. We want to put ourselves first in this way by filling our own cup so that we can then better help another. There are so many different complexities to learning to love ourselves, especially when we came into this world offering ourselves a challenge which gave us the opposite experience. Because we all wanted to come in and refine this lesson of self love or learn this lesson of self love so we could make this proper choice, this positive or negative choice to move into the new dimension for our soul's evolvement. This is a crucial time in our soul's history. This is why all of us who are here now on the earth are making this choice because we are moving into this state. There is like a what's called seniority of vibration for those who are allowed entry into the earth at this time. Your vibration has to be at a certain level for you to be capable of even making this choice. And so to come into this planet means that you are already vibrationally at a tipping point, and we are here making this choice at this tipping point. And so we chose challenging parents, challenging siblings, challenging relationships so that we could learn these lessons of self love. And when we are truly able to make these choices in every single moment, we have done our job here, and then it is time to move on. And so, all of us who are still here, we are still making this choice. So, every single night, I find it to be a really wonderful practice to think about the thoughts you were thinking throughout the day. Think about your reactions to the things that you've had throughout the day. And were those thoughts and reactions centered around love, in loving unity of the whole, in helping the whole, in loving yourself in unity and love with the whole? Or were there some things throughout the day that were maybe a little selfish, that were in service to yourself? Did we try to control or manipulate any situation? Did we not allow someone else to make a free will decision in any way, shape, or form? All of these little ways that maybe we weren't thinking that we were doing. But there are tiny little subtle ways that we do try to manipulate or control another to appease ourselves, to keep ourselves safe, to make ourselves happy, or so we think. All these little ways we can examine within ourselves, examine our balance within ourselves, within our own energy system, and learn to see the unity within ourselves and others. The more we can accept ourselves, the more we can accept another. The more we can understand the balance in ourselves, the more we can understand another. When we understand that we are a big part of one whole, all connected, all part of the same thing, all part of the same blueprint, the same hologram, all made of the same star stuff, that everything we do is in benefit or in detriment to the whole, because all we are is energy beings. And our energy ripple that we are putting out into the universe is of our choosing. Our frequency, our vibration is of our choosing. So, what are our thoughts? Where is our focus? Where does your mind tend to go? And if you don't like where your mind is going, then we can choose to refocus. We make a decision, a conscious decision to think a different thought, to refocus that thought towards love and unity, because that thought, that energy is always there. It just requires a change in perspective, an intention, even to wake up in the day and say, today is a new day, and today I intend to see the love in every moment. I intend for things that may trigger me to roll off my shoulder, and I can then later examine what this is within me that I need to work on. What lesson do I need to learn from this? And how is this triggering experience helping me to learn just that so that I can balance my energies, so that I can come to a place of total love and acceptance? And so, all of our life experiences, all of our challenges, all of our triggers, what they are our greatest teachers. Without these triggers, without these challenges, we wouldn't have the understanding. We wouldn't know what to look to. We wouldn't even have an awareness of what we needed to work on. So we can look to all of these experiences and say, thank you. Thank you for pointing to me towards the place that I can learn to love myself more. All of our family, all of our relations, we can turn to and say, I love you. I forgive you. I know that you are here being my greatest teacher. And we agreed to this. We agreed to this before we came in to play these roles with one another so that we could learn the lesson that we are each here to learn. And this balances out so beautifully when we can see it from that spirit perspective. When we can all learn to accept one another, love each other for who we are, allow each other to just be. Loving ourselves is a whole lot easier. We can express ourselves, be ourselves, and just be, because that's all we're here really wanting to do, to be, to experience, to make these choices of love in each and every moment. I love you all so much. That's it for me today. I'm going to leave you with this song by Symbolico called Symbolic Expression. Until next time, I love you all.
It is a shift in planetary symbolic expression.